All right, I'll go ahead and say prayer. And we're grateful for this wonderful day and for the chance we have to meet together as a team. We pray that thy spirit might be with us as we discuss this case, that we might be able to answer all the questions and see how it relates to us personally and how it can relate to us in our business endeavors in the future. Pray that Molly might be able to join us if possible. If not, she might be watched over and that we might be able to meet up with her next week. Pray for thy spirit to be with us, and these things we do so in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
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 All right. Well, let's start going down through these suckers. It's funny, I took, I'm taking 321 right now too, and we did the same case this week for that class. And that was kind of nice. I already read it earlier. But sweet. First question: what made Noodles and Company an attractive opportunity for Aaron Kennedy in 1995?
I think it was just because it was something different, new and different. You know, when you come up with an idea that you haven't seen out there before, you got to kind of jump on it before somebody else, because other people are probably thinking the same thing. It's just how fast somebody can actually take it to the market.
Mm-hmm. There wasn't a lot of people out there doing this. Was it fast casual? Is that the name of the?
Yeah, fast casual.
All right. All right. What caused the company's early struggles, and why do you think so?
I felt like he didn't fully think out the plan of the company.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Wrote it down. So I got some of the struggles was that he had never done anything like that before.
Mm-hmm.
So like he wasn't in the food industry. Let's see. Yeah, it's pretty much.
That's the one for you. I thought it was interesting that they like came up with the recipes and stuff, like the menu, like in his mom's kitchen.
Yeah, that was interesting.
I think like in the very beginning, I think he struggled with that first store, and then he lucked out and got financing to start a second store. But then, like in that second restaurant, they had that one bad review, and it just like kind of skyrocketed, blew up, and lots of bad reviews and stuff. And it was all about like them just having poor food. Like it was a great idea, but just really bad food.
Yeah.
So I think that was a big mistake. We should have really thought that through right from the beginning. Market was like higher end, like it's fast, is like super fast food, but so it's a little bit better quality than you'd expect at a fast food restaurant. So you would have thought he would have put more time into that and research.
Right.
But it sounded like, I guess he rebounded from that pretty well. I mean, they got together as a team and came up with some good recipes that seemed to win over everybody. And it was like the third store did a good job. So.
Well, and what did you guys think about like where his locations? I thought he kind of struggled with, I can't remember which location, but just where he played.
Yeah, he had the one where he put it in that it was like an old brick building or something, right? And then a lot of the other tenants that were like around him, so it was like I can't remember, GNC and like Foot Locker or something. All those things left, and it ended up like a smoke shop went in next to him, and so he's like, "Crap, this sucks."
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It wasn't that a competitor?
What's that?
Wasn't that one that came in right next to him? Wasn't that a competitor?
It was like a smoke shop. So like they sold cigars and stuff. So he said that it brought in like the wrong type of crowd. So they had to make like a concerted effort to like go out and try to like market themselves, to people. So they had to go drop off like food at schools and stuff and free noodles. But yeah, it seemed like they really turned it around. I mean, it's crazy, growing like crazy fast here in the end. So number 3, what role should franchising play in a company's growth? What do you guys think?
Franchising always is a good way. I mean, the only hard part is you're under a company that kind of makes the rules. You don't really have a lot of free play of what you want to do when you franchise, but
yeah, but I guess, I mean, from their perspective, like they're the franchise, right? And so the franchise,
Right.
they're meant like they don't have. I think they're the ones that don't have a lot of like say in how they run the company. Yeah, they put the money up, and then they run it on a daily basis, but it has to be run according to what Noodles and company wants them to run.
yeah.
And I think like when you go to franchise, and so the good part is that you can set the standards as far as how much people need to bring into to actually take over your company. But the other thing is that you're basically being able to collect money on it and then tell them how they're going to run that business. And I mean, you can sit there and pick and choose how you want it ran so you can make sure it's going to stay successful. Like we just got one in Idaho Falls, what, like a year and a half ago?
Noodles?
Yeah, and I've never eaten there. I still haven't eaten there, but I think they know exactly where they're going to be successful, like it, and how many they can have in an area or whatever, and still stay successful, because they don't want them to just build them and then have them tank. I mean, they want them to keep growing. So, but It's just with somebody else's money, it's a lot better.
Yeah, so I guess that leads into the next question. What are the specific advantages and disadvantages of the franchising model for Noodles, including the financial, economic, and organizational consequences?
Financial, they can choose what they want to make, or what, I mean.
Yeah, they can say, hey, we get X amount of royalties off of your revenue.
Right.
And this is also like, hey, this is the startup fee that we require, So yeah, that's kind of nice. I mean, the other advantage, just like you were saying, Josh, that you don't have to worry about like growing the company, like so seeking extra capital and stuff. If you like require the franchisee to come in and bring the money to get the store off the ground and whatnot. Yeah, it just seems like it's kind of a no-brainer at this point. I mean, I think if they had like all the money in the world and they wanted to kind of keep it to themselves and grow it and stuff, maybe it'd be a good idea to grow it, capital and investment from other people rather than franchising it. But it just seems like there's so much potential. Like if you're wanting to grow to like hundreds of stores, I mean, that's going to be a ton of investment. So if you could have that outsource and just take like, say, hey, we'll just take a percentage of revenue. We don't have to do anything. You do all the work. We'll just, you can use our name. Percentage. That seems like that's a pretty sweet deal. I mean, I guess so the negative to that is you don't have like complete control over what they do. I guess that's one thing that Cade just said too, that you don't have complete control over them because they're going to kind of run their business. I mean, you will be, or they will be mandated, based on the agreement that they sign, but types of employees they hire and whatnot. I mean, I think in our other group that I met with earlier today, there's some franchises that like you go to one in Idaho, you go to one in California, and they're like identical, right? Even down to like I think it's Chick-fil-A. Was it Chick-fil-A? I think that's the one they use as an example. Is like, so if you say thank you or something, like they just say there's a word, like a phrase that they always say. I can't remember what it is.
Oh,
It's not you're welcome, but oh dang, what is it?
oh,
Anyway,
my pleasure or something like that.
yeah,
Hey, thank you.
yeah. And so it's like way like it's like uniform down to like what they how they respond. And so if you have that type of franchise, then you've got McDonald's that it's like, you go to one in here and then you go to one somewhere else, and like there's just not the same type of structure. I mean, I think there definitely is some structure there, but I think with Chick-fil-A, like it's a higher, I don't know, you look at it and it feels like it's maybe a better brand, but maybe you pay a little bit more for it and that kind of thing. And so I think with Noodles, the concept to me, like they would need to maintain that higher standard of like excellence, and like what's happening in these franchises needs to be regulated, a lot more in order to keep the culture and whatnot.
Yeah.
All right, so then on to the math problems here. So it says, to help inform your choice, you may find it helpful to estimate how much total profit the company would earn annually under a franchise scenario and a company-owned scenario using the following assumptions. So I put some stuff in some Excel sheets here. So I came up, based on some figures and stuff that I had in the case, that the average store would make about $225,000 in profit a year. And then for franchises, like if they went with the standard, like so Panera and Applebee's were kind of the standard that they were comparing themselves to. So Applebee's and Panera, they have $35,000 as a development fee, so they get to pocket that each time a store's like a franchise is sold or whatever, and then they get 5% residual. I guess royalties off of the revenue. Oh, we just lost Cade. So I guess if we plug those into these, we have so this one can equal 58 times this. So for the first question, they'd make 13 million if they owned all the stores. And then for this one, yeah, I mean they'd own. I guess as a franchise, you wouldn't make near as much because you're only getting 5% of the residual. But you got to think that there was a lot less work that went into that franchise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, I guess that's. Did you have anything to add to that?
No, it all sounds great.
Cool. All right, maybe a summary, and then we can conclude.
Okay, so we started talking about why Noodles and Company was an attractive opportunity. It's because it's new to the market. It's one of those growing fast casual, I think was the word, kind of shaking up the market a little bit. Early struggles that Noodles and Company had. He wasn't too familiar with it, and they kind of had some issues come up with the taste of the food and with location. I can't remember exactly what you said.
No, that's good.
Franchising would be a good opportunity for this company. And some of the advantages would be the financial end of it, not having to come up with all the capital to grow the business, and being able to still organize the company how he wants it, but just not have to deal with the day-to-day business. And then we went over some percentages that you had, and anyway.
Awesome. Very good.